Hey guys, if you're reading these words, chances are you've heard one of those phrases before. A phrase that makes you feel like something's off, but you can't quite put your finger on it. A phrase that makes you go home and question yourself, wondering if you're too paranoid, too demanding, or if you're the one who did something wrong. That's the feeling I'm talking about. The feeling of confusion, of self-doubt, and of emotional exhaustion. For many years, I've seen, experienced, and learned about the psychological games in relationships. And I've discovered a painful truth. Many of us guys have been conditioned to be nice guys. Men who always give, who put others before themselves, who constantly try to rescue the women we love. This has become so ingrained in us that we've lost our natural instinct as high-value men. That instinct was once our shield, protecting us from emotional manipulators. People who use specific language patterns to test our boundaries, take advantage of our kindness, and make us question our own worth. These aren't just red flags. They are psychological weapons disguised as normal conversation. And once you hear them, you'll never be able to unhear them again. I want to share this with you not to make you cynical or suspicious of women, but to give you a new form of self-defense, to protect your energy and your value. Because the woman you choose doesn't just affect your love life. She affects your career, your friendships, your relationship with your family, your self-esteem, your financial future, and even your physical health. Choose wrong, and you'll spend precious years of your life trying to heal from the damage. Learn to recognize and walk away from the wrong ones, and you'll create space for something truly beautiful to enter your life. I'm going to share with you 5 phrases that, when a woman says them, you need to walk away immediately. The 5th one is the most subtle, yet the most devastating, and 99% of men completely miss it. Phrase 1. Why do you have to overthink so much? Or, I was just kidding. Why are you making a big deal out of it? Do you remember a time when you felt hurt or upset by something she said or did? And instead of receiving comfort, you got the response, why do you have to take everything so seriously? Or, why are you so sensitive like a girl? In that moment, a seed of self-doubt was planted in your mind. Your feelings were invalidated. She wasn't just dismissing your emotions, she was manipulating you into doubting your own perception. Here's what's really happening. When a woman dismisses your feelings as too much, she's not commenting on your sensitivity. She's revealing her own inability to deal with a man who has emotions and dares to show them. She's testing whether you'll abandon your own emotional intelligence to accommodate her comfort. She's seeing if you'll shrink yourself to make her feel bigger. A woman who truly cares about you would never dismiss your feelings. She would be curious about them. She would ask questions, listen, and try to understand your perspective, even if she doesn't initially agree with it. A woman who tells you that your natural emotional responses are wrong or excessive is essentially telling you that she values her own comfort more than your authentic self-expression. The consequences of this phrase are incredibly dangerous. It plants a seed of self-doubt that grows over time. You start to question every emotion, every instinct, every gut feeling. You begin to constantly monitor yourself, wondering if you're being too much again. This is exactly what manipulators want. They want you disconnected from your internal guidance system because your intuition is the one thing that can protect you from their manipulation. You have the right to feel. A man's emotional depth is not a bug to be fixed, but a feature to be honored. Never allow a woman to poison your inner world by making you doubt yourself. Phrase 2. I'm just trying to help you. Imagine she says something cruel, unnecessary, or intentionally hurtful. For example, she criticizes your career, your friends, or a hobby you love. And when you express that you're hurt, she replies, I'm just being honest. I only want what's best for you. This phrase is a manipulation tactic designed to turn cruelty into a virtue. When someone uses honesty as a weapon, they are not being honest. They are being abusive. True honesty comes from a place of love and genuine care. It is delivered with kindness, compassion, and consideration for timing and context. When a woman says something intentionally hurtful and then hides behind the excuse of just being honest, she's revealing that she either completely lacks empathy or she enjoys causing you pain. I've seen this pattern systematically destroy men's self-esteem. She'll comment on your appearance, your intelligence, your dreams, your friends, or your family. And when you express that her words hurt, she'll act like you're the problem for not appreciating her honesty. This creates a psychological trap where you start to believe that love means accepting cruelty and that asking for kindness makes you weak. But the truth is, a woman who loves you will naturally want to build you up, not tear you down. Sometimes difficult conversations need to happen in a relationship, but they should happen with care, with the intention of strengthening the bond, not diminishing you as a person. When someone consistently uses honesty as an excuse to be cruel, they are showing you that they are more interested in asserting dominance than in creating genuine intimacy. Remember, you can have both honesty and kindness. In fact, honesty without compassion isn't honesty at all. It's just cruelty wearing a mask of virtue. Phrase 3. You're being too jealous, or you need to respect my personal space. Do you remember a time when you expressed a boundary, a need, or a concern about her behavior? For example, you said, "I need you to let me know when you're coming home late," or "I'm not comfortable with the way you interact with other guys." And the response you got was, "Why are you being so controlling?" Or "Don't you trust me?" This is gaslighting in its purest form, and it's designed to make you afraid of advocating for yourself. Let me be clear. Boundaries are not about control. They are not demands or punishments. Boundaries are simply you communicating what you need to feel safe, respected, and valued in the relationship. A woman who responds to your boundaries by calling you controlling is revealing something crucial about her character. She believes her freedom is more important than your peace of mind. She's showing you that she views your needs as obstacles to her convenience, rather than important information about how to love you well. What happens to men in these situations is heartbreaking. They start shrinking their needs, accepting treatment that goes against their values because they've been convinced that having standards equals being controlling. They start to pride themselves on being low maintenance and easygoing, not realizing that they are actually abandoning themselves to accommodate someone who doesn't value their well-being. A woman who truly loves you will want to know your boundaries because she wants to honor them. She understands that your boundaries are not limitations on the relationship. They are the framework that allows trust and intimacy to flourish. The women who call you controlling for having boundaries are the same women who will take advantage of you if you don't have them. Phrase 4. I'm not ready for a serious relationship. But here's the key. She says this while simultaneously acting like you are in a relationship. She texts you constantly, spends most of her free time with you, introduces you to her friends, and creates all the emotional intimacy of a committed relationship. All while explicitly telling you, this is not that. This phrase is emotional manipulation disguised as honesty, and it's designed to give her all the benefits of having you in her life without any of the accountability. She gets your emotional support, your physical affection, your time, your energy, and your loyalty, while maintaining the freedom to walk away whenever she wants without feeling guilty because she told you from the beginning. This is particularly devastating because it puts you in an impossible position. If you stay, you're essentially agreeing to be undervalued and treated as an option. If you express that you want more, she can point to her earlier disclaimer and make you feel like you're the one who changed the rules. If you walk away, you feel like you're throwing away something that could potentially become real if you just wait long enough. But I need you to understand this. When a woman wants to be with you, really be with you, there is no confusion. There is no not ready or let's see where this goes. When a woman recognizes your value, she moves with intention and clarity. The women who keep you in relationship limbo aren't confused about what they want. They know exactly what they want, and it's to have you available without having to fully commit to you. Phrase 5. Where's the old you? Or you've changed so much. This is the most dangerous phrase, so subtle that most men don't even recognize it as manipulation until years later, when they're trying to rebuild their sense of self. She says it with disappointment, with accusation, with the implication that the person you're becoming is somehow worse than who you were when she met you. This phrase is soul-crushing because it's designed to make you abandon your growth, your evolution, and your authentic self to return to a version of yourself that was more convenient for her. When a woman criticizes you for changing, she's revealing that she fell in love with your potential for serving her needs, not with your potential to become who you're meant to be. Here's what's really happening. You're growing, evolving, setting boundaries, pursuing your dreams, speaking your truth, or simply becoming more confident. And instead of celebrating this growth, she feels threatened by it. Why? Because the version of you she preferred was smaller, more manageable, more focused on her, and less focused on her own expansion. I've watched men abandon their dreams, their friendships, their career goals, and their personal growth, because a woman made them feel that their evolution was selfish or wrong. They stopped going to the gym because she wanted to spend more time with them. They stopped pursuing their passions because she preferred when their attention was more focused on her. A woman who truly loves you doesn't just accept your growth, she champions it. She gets excited when she sees you becoming more confident, clearer about what you want, more connected to your purpose. She understands that your growth doesn't threaten the relationship, it strengthens it, because you're bringing more of your authentic self to the connection. Now that you know these 5 phrases and what they really mean, you might be feeling a mix of emotions. You might be recognizing patterns from your past or seeing current relationships in a new light. All of these feelings are valid, and I want you to honor them. This information isn't meant to make you cynical about love, but to develop your discernment. It's about the ability to distinguish between people who genuinely care about your well-being and people who are primarily focused on what they can get from you. Here's what I want you to do with this information. Start paying attention to how you feel after conversations. Notice if you feel energized or drained. Notice if you feel seen and valued or confused and diminished. Start trusting your initial gut reactions. If something feels off in the first few weeks of knowing someone, it probably is. Most importantly, I want you to understand that walking away from people who don't value you isn't cruel. It's self-love. It's not giving up on love. It's making space for real love to enter your life. The right person for you won't require you to shrink yourself, explain your worth, or accept crumbs. The right person will see your value immediately and act accordingly. They won't need to be convinced to choose you, because choosing you will feel like the most natural thing in the world.